Hi, we're gonna do a cranial nerve assessment on you today, if that's all right.
Okay.
So we just learned doing this so we can see how the nerves and muscles of your speech and swallowing are working. So first, are you having any pain?
No.
Okay, great. I also see that your face is very symmetrical and it's still at rest, so that
Mhm.
tells me that your upper motor neuron innervation is good and that your alpha motor neurons and your gamma motor neurons have a good balance. So that's great. Um, First, I'm just going to have you start by giving me a nice strong cough. Great. So this is just checking that your spinal nerves that push the air out are coordinating and communicating properly with your recurrent laryngeal nerve to abduct your vocal folds. So that looks great. First, I'm just going to examine the functioning of your fifth cranial nerve, which is your trigeminal nerve. So I'm going to have you open your mouth and then I'm going to try to close it, but don't let me.
Okay.
Great. Now I'm going to have you open your jaw and move it side to side. Perfect. So everything looks great, and this tells me that the motor function of your trigeminal nerve is intact, and you have a full range of motions. That's awesome. Now I'm going to have you close your eyes, and I'm going to touch a few different places on your face. And I just want you to point to where you feel the touch.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Awesome. Now we're going to do a similar thing. But I'm going to have you stick out your tongue and I'm going to use the tongue depressor to touch a few different spots. And this time just raise your hands when you feel the touch.
okay.
And then close your eyes too, though, for this one. Okay, awesome. So this shows me that the sensory function of your trigeminal nerve is also intact. So that these sensory signals that your face and your tongue are receiving are being communicated to your brain properly. So next I'm going to examine the functioning of your facial nerve, which is your seventh cranial nerve. And your facial nerve is actually responsible for sensation under your jaw, which we already tested. And that looks great so far. So we're just going to do a few more things to make sure that your facial nerve is working well. Um, so have there been any recent changes in your taste sensation?
No.
Okay. Great. That means that all the sensory functions of your facial nerve are working well. So that's great. So now I'm going to have you just like wrinkle your forehead, raise your eyebrows, close your eyes super tightly, smile with your teeth, and then frown. Perfect. So this means that your facial nerve is innervating all the muscles of your face to make different facial expressions, and it's doing that super well. So that's great. Now I'm going to have you like smile and relax, like awesome. So that means that your facial nerve is moving and coordinating the muscles very nicely. So now I want you to protrude your lips and then relax them and then alternate between, yeah, protruding and relaxing. Awesome. So now I'm going to have you keep your lips protruded. I'm going to apply some pressure from both sides, and I just want you to not let me move your lips. All right, so go ahead and protrude your lips. And now I'm just going to have you protrude your lips again, and I'm going to try to push them in, but don't let me push them in. Awesome. So this means that your facial nerve is doing a great job coordinating the muscles of your lips, and the strength of your lip muscles looks great too. That's fantastic. Now I'm going to take a look at the movements of your tongue to see how your 12th cranial nerve, which is your hypoglossal nerve, is functioning. So first, I'm going to have you just stick out your tongue as far as you can. Awesome. And now move your tongue from side to side. Awesome. Now can you make a nice strong sound? Awesome. So now we're going to use the tender pressure again. I'm going to have you stick your tongue to the left, and I'm going to apply some opposing pressure. Just don't let me move your tongue. Awesome. Now we're going to do the same thing on the right. Okay, now I'm going to have you put your tongue up, and I'm going to try to push it down, but don't let me. Awesome. And then same thing down. I'll try to push it up, but don't let me. Awesome. Now, I'm just going to have you put your tongue in your left cheek. I'm going to use my fingers to try to push it in, but don't let me push your tongue in. Perfect. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Awesome. So this shows me that your coordination, range of motion, the retraction of your tongue, and the strength of the muscles innervated by your hypoglossal nerve are all working great. So that means that your nerve is functioning really well. So now we're going to move on to examining your 11th cranial nerve, which is your accessory nerve. First, I'm going to have you turn your head to the side and don't let me push it back to center. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. Awesome. Now I'm going to have you shrug your shoulders and I'm going to try to push them down, but don't let me push them down. Perfect. So the strength you demonstrated tells me that your accessory nerve is functioning beautifully. So now I'm going to have you open your mouth and say, ah. This will look at your vagus nerve, which is your 10th cranial nerve. And I'm just going to look at the back of your throat while you hold and sustain ah, but I'm going to use my flashlight just so I can see the back of your throat. So whenever you're ready, just open your mouth, say ah. Awesome. Now go ahead and stick your tongue out and say ah, ah, ah. Awesome. So I saw your velum rise and hold sufficiently and equally on both sides, which is great. You have a great pharyngeal constriction. The vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, as well as the trigeminal nerve, which was your fifth, and the glossopharyngeal nerve, all play a role in coordinating these muscle movements. So that indicates that all three of these nerves are functioning really well. Now I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and then hold ah for as long and as steadily as you can. Go ahead. Awesome. So this shows that your recurrent laryngeal nerve is adducting your vocal folds properly, so that's great. Now I'm going to have you say, but super high pitch, like as high pitch as you can. And just hold it. Awesome. So that demonstrates that your superior laryngeal nerve is successfully innervating your cricothyroid muscle. So that's everything looks great. The last thing we're going to do is I'm just going to have you say some funny noises. So we're going to start with puff, 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 but you're going to say that as fast as you can. So like puff, 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 for 10 seconds. So let me get the timer started. Oops. Okay. Ready, set. Awesome. Next we're going to do the same thing, but this time say ta 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 best you can for 10 seconds. All right, ready, go. Awesome. Now we're gonna do again the same thing, but we're gonna do ka. So ka 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 ka. Okay, ready, set, go. Awesome. And so now for our last thing, we're going to put it all together and say pataka, 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 as best as you can for 10 seconds. All right, ready, go. Awesome. So this was activity looked at your brain's ability to plan and program the production of speech sounds, and you did great. So everything looks amazing. Thank you for your time today, and have a great day.
Thank you.